pay as it goes down.
So with trigger rates,
Mm-hmm.
what are you seeing right now in the market? Because we want to jump into the market talk about the market. But in the trigger rates, are you seeing a lot of people hitting the trigger rates, and what's the consequences of them doing that? Can they afford $2,000-$3,000 more a month, or are they
good question
doing amortization for 50 years now?
Yeah, I've seen most people who got a variable rate mortgage after the pandemic started, after March 2020, they have hit their trigger rate because variable rate mortgages have gone up more than 4%. So almost all of them have hit their trigger rate. Whether or not they can afford it, most can, I would say. The reason being is because when we approve a mortgage, if the rate when they got approved was 1.5 variable, 5-year, we test them, their finances, as if the payment was 5.25%, right? So basically, we do a calculation. We see what would the payment be if it was at 5.25. Can you afford that? Even though we're getting you a lesser payment, because with variable rates go up, your payment can go up.
Yeah.
So most of them can afford it. I'm sure it's not easy. Like they're increasing their mortgage payment by 20, 30, 40% sometimes. So it's definitely taking a toll maybe on their budget. But I think most of them can afford it at this time. Yeah.
So you're not seeing like people going to be defaulting on the mortgages at all soon, or?
Yeah, we're at one of the lowest default rates we've seen in Canada in a long time. And I think that's not because people aren't feeling the strain. It's because the last thing someone's going to let go and not pay is their mortgage. First, they're going to let go their credit card, or they're not going to pay their car note if they're, in trouble. The thing they're going to protect first is their house where they live. So even though their mortgage payment is not in default, that's not to say they're not struggling somewhere else potentially.
Yeah. So then when people are saying, people are going to be foreclosing the houses and everything, there's going to be a huge sell-off on houses. You don't see that happening then?
I have seen some power of sales,
but not as much as like it's predicted.
To be honest, I haven't dove into the numbers and seeing what it is now versus before in terms of power of sales. One of my clients bought a power of sale, and there's sometimes some advantages to buying power of sale, but I don't see a flood of inventory coming from people who can't afford their mortgages. No. I've had people call me and say, Aubrey, the rate's going up. My mortgage is going up. It's getting a little bit tight, but I don't have people saying, I'm about to file bankruptcy, bro. I can't take this payment anymore. It's not like that.